back out again on Friday evening, and it's been somewhat of a challenging week with picking up a bit of illness, and probably from sort of last Sunday really. Felt that with that long run I was struggling. My Monday run didn't feel great on either, and I felt a bit wiped out on Tuesday and Wednesday, so didn't run on those days either. I went for a short run on Thursday of 2 miles, so just to test to see how my body reacts, and this is the first run since, so aiming for probably somewhere around 6 miles tonight. I wanted to touch on, as it's quite topical at the time, going into a marathon and going into taper, but what you do when you pick up a bit of an illness. And I think first of all, you've got to decide how that illness is affecting you. If it is something kind of above the neck and shoulders, if it's just sort of a little bit of a cough, a sniffle, you're probably all right to just carry on, but just don't do anything too daft and push yourself too hard. But I always think if it's something like what I've had this week, where it's been adding to fatigue, just feeling run down, aching muscles, things like that, just very tired, that it's best to rest up, let the symptoms sort of play themselves out and recover, and then get back to a light bit of training from there. It's important not to panic and to worry about losing fitness, especially close to your race, whereas realistically, it's probably going to do you more good than anything, because whilst you're stopped in your tracks with an illness, you are recovering, say, the rest of your body, all those muscles that you might have pushed a bit too hard on the sessions and with the mileage. They'll be thankful for having the rest.
Saturday was a shakeout at Park Run with Robbie, Steve and his dog Win, making it look very easy, just sort of walking round as we're jogging around Park Run. So Sunday was spectating at the Boston Marathon. We also had a half marathon going on at this time. So here were the leaders going through where I was at around 4 miles. So this was a turnaround point of 4 to around 18 miles where the marathon runners joined back on the course. We've got the next pack going through there. So these were just in front of my friend Robbie, who was aiming for a quick marathon and beating his PB of 2:53. So here's Robbie, third place in this group with a woolly hat on, looking good at 4 miles. It was then good to see fellow running YouTuber Mac of Mac Tracks, the tall guy here, you won't miss him.
Well done. Nice one, Robbie. Well done, guys. Good work, Robbie. Doing great, mate. You're doing great. Go, Robbie! Well done, mate.
So a massive well done to Robbie there, who crossed the line in a time of 2:45.25. I was out there supporting him this weekend, and it was really good to see him finally sort of nail that marathon that he's been looking for. He trains hard, he runs often 90 miles most weeks. He'll get out before 4 in the morning, sometimes before work. Works a demanding job and has a busy life with a young family. So it's good to see him getting the rewards that all his efforts deserve in that good marathon time of 2:45. So that means he can get a probably quite comfortable good for age for London for next year. And also means that with the conditions on the day of it being so windy, that he's probably got a little bit more in the tank as well to knock off that, not to take anything away from today's performance. In terms of my own training this week, it's been a little bit of a down week as the weeks have sort of trended downwards as I've got closer to the marathon. So in total, I had 37 miles, which was heavily impacted by having around 3 days of no running in the middle of a week. So just getting that illness, nothing I could do about it, and to try and force myself back to a bit of running would really have hampered this, and I'd have still been ill come sort of Sunday at the weekend. So it was a week of just doing what I could. It's still not too bad, really. I've got a little bit of volume in there ahead of Manchester next weekend. So it's going to look pretty similar next week. I still want to do a decent bit of running, but I'll probably take it a little bit easier on the Friday and the Saturday. I don't really need too much of a taper because my training hasn't been that intense. I don't feel like I'm sort of still recovering from the training. It's more so the rehab on my hip, my leg, that I've been struggling with, that I need to get right, and that's what's going to sort of push me on to getting back to regular training, getting back to doing some sessions again, because 7 weeks in now, it's just been jogging, it's just been easy running. I've had very minimal runs where I've pushed it a little bit quicker, and these have probably only been at 1 or 2 part runs over this period. So I'm looking forward to getting back to that, and it's something that I think I will do after the marathon, giving it a few weeks to just improve that rehab on my leg and get back to doing what I enjoy doing. So thanks for watching this week's video. We'll be back next week with race week of the Manchester Marathon, including the race day. I'll see you in the next one.